What's up, guys? It's your girl Phoenix Novell, and thank you for tuning in to another Musicians on Gigs episode. Now, this episode is actually going to be me reading from a chapter in my Musicians Little Black Book of Performance book. This was the second book that I wrote, and I love it so much because I love to write, because I love to share my experiences. I love to help people. I love to teach from my experiences. And this book is a collection. It's actually 20 Unwritten Rules to Entertaining. So it's a collection of my experiences of what not to do, of what to do for artists who perform pretty much full time, you know? Unwritten stuff, you know, this isn't like, it's not like, oh my God, if you don't do this, you're going to fail miserably. But it's things that I found that help you along the way as an artist stay out of trouble, you know, or maximize off of the opportunities at hand, because it's a privilege to be an artist and performing and getting paid for, you know, your talents. It's a privilege, but the journey could turn into hell very easily if you don't cover some bases. So today's chapter, I had it and then I lost it. But the chapter, I believe, is while I'm looking for this, I will say that I want to talk about, wait, where did it go? Okay, I got it. The chapter today I'm going to focus on is called Win the Customer Without Losing Yourself. All right. So I'm going to read a little excerpt from there, and then I'm going to give you my commentary. But before I do that, I want to let you guys know that my 14-piece art collection, Living on Purpose, is out. You can check it out on my website at www.phoenixnovell.com. And you can buy the artwork. All my artwork is for sale. The original pieces is for sale. And if you don't want to buy the original piece, I also offer custom prints of my artwork as well that I will customize just for you. I'll sign and autograph them, and if you want to purchase them for somebody else, I will leave a message for the person, whatever you want me to say, sign my name, date, whatever, and I'm going to be mailing these to you. Unfortunately, right now I am only doing domestic, so if you are international, I am sorry. Right now I do not offer that service. At some point in the future, maybe I will, but I am not trying to deal with no customs and your art getting stuck over there and then you having to pay crazy money to get it. I've been through that. I'm not going to subject you to that or myself. So right now I'm shipping domestic only within the USA, and I'll calculate shipping costs depending on exactly where you come from. But right now I'm selling these in the 8x11 prints, as well as all the way up to 11x16 prints. Okay, so you're gonna get them fully protected. They'll be in a little plastic baggie that fits them nice and snug, and then I'll put another piece of board or some kind of protective wrapping around it before I put it in something else, so that it's not going to be bent when it gets to you. I also do mounting. I'm looking into, this is cardstock, but I'm also looking into mounting on cardboard, so that when I can sign like black cardboard or white cardboard and I can sign it, and it'll pop even more. And I'm gonna have to ship those in a little bit more, probably some actual bigger cardboard, so that it doesn't bend or break either. But I'm just getting started with the printing, so I'm very excited about this part, because not everybody is going to want to buy the actual artwork. The actual artwork is pretty pricey, and there's 14 pieces in the collection, and when one is gone, it's gone. But with the prints, anybody can experience a piece of Phoenix Novell, the visual artist, painter, in their living room for much less, okay, and even personalized to you. So make sure you check out my 14-piece art collection at www.phoenixnovell.com. When you go there, it's in the top tab under E2P Art Gallery. That means Earth to Phoenix Art Gallery. That's the name of my gallery, and then you'll see my 14-piece art collection. All right, enough about that. So let's get back to it. For my Musicians Little Black Book of Performance book, the chapter is actually the 7th Unwritten Win the customer without losing yourself. The more you try to impress someone, the more they expect to be impressed. All right? So if you're constantly looking to be seen by them in a certain light, unfortunately, sometimes you achieve the exact opposite. You don't get their praise and approval. You get their expectation for you to always be a source of their happiness. And the moment you can't do something, the moment you're not giving that to them, I don't know, they don't then start to want to give it to you. They usually start looking for it elsewhere. Okay, so you don't want to always conform to other people and pleasing them, because then who are you? And in the moment that you don't give them what they want, how do they start acting? So if you wish to be considered valuable, you need only be a person that has mastered a useful skill. People of mastery don't need to waste their time and energy with pleasantries, although it can be useful at times. Arrogance is in no way suggested, but rather understanding what skills are in demand and attaining the knowledge necessary to profit from acquiring those skills is key to this process. Make yourself useful and write your own check. Never be a pawn used for someone else's amusement. Now, I'm going to skip over a little bit. There's this thing called dignity that I hear people talking about. It sounds like a valuable thing to have. A lot of artists are expected to dance around and give extra attention to high-rolling clients. It's as if any of us are making a commission off of the overpriced VIP booths or the fancy bottles of alcohol they buy. I mean, are you kidding me? As you can surely tell, I'm not at all in favor of some money-bag clientele getting special privilege when it comes to being around an artist. On the other hand, if a customer asks the band to play an additional set, there is usually a clause in our contract that outlines the protocol to follow. This includes the customers giving us a predetermined tip for a certain amount of overtime performance. It also details what we are not allowed to accept from clients as well, such as overpriced jewelry, etc. For requests such as playing a certain song or birthday anniversary shoutouts, that's up to the band or the hotel management to approve, and most likely a tip is not expected out of courtesy. I've worked with a few artists who failed to draw the line between great customer service and professional boundaries. Some of them were people pleasers who would give and do anything for the approval and loyalty of a high-ranked client. This is by far one of the most crucial unwritten rules to remember. Do not become so caught up in the game of show and tell that you lose integrity, dignity, or respect for yourself and from your bandmates. Now my commentary. I wrote that book when I was still out there performing pretty much on a full-time basis internationally. And I was able to see artists not know where to draw the line between, I'm a performer, I'm here to entertain you and make sure you have a good time. And the show is over, I gotta go, nice to meet you, see you again tomorrow night. Now, again, you can build great relationships. You meet people all the time in different places. So I'm not saying that you can't form a great relationship with somebody that you met at a club that you worked at and they saw you performing. But more often than not, that element that they met you in is usually the element that they stay in with you. So they'll come and party and hang out and have you drink and smoke, and then they want to go to another bar with you and hang out. So they met you when they were unwinding, and so they want to continue that. And there can be this kind of, they do come and bring money to the club, and if the owner of the club sees me socializing with them, then they're going to really enjoy me more, want to keep me here more, and they're going to like me and then tell my boss how great I am and want me to come back. So you can get into this very unhealthy cycle of assuming that you have to be everything to everyone. And if that's really not you, and if you don't have control over your boundaries, you could spiral really fast and really bad. I've seen artists start to use drugs because they were offered drugs by a high-rolling client, and they were just like, what, hey, why not? Nobody forced them to, but they just felt the pressure. Like, if I don't hang, if I say no, they're gonna like another performer better than me who says yes, or they're not gonna come back, or they're not gonna speak highly about me to my boss, or they're not gonna keep tipping me. You know, now some of artists are straight up druggies, so I'm not even going to suggest that there aren't those out there who can't wait to be offered something from a customer who provides it. But you have a lot of artists who just want to be liked, you know, and they lose themselves in the process of trying to be liked. And I've had some boss, you know, who just don't like the fact that I am so anti peer pressure. They don't see it like that. They see it as you mingling and socializing and hanging out. I don't see it like that. I see it very cut and dry. It's like my job and what I'm getting paid for on paper is to perform these songs and to, you know, like it and be up there enjoying myself and ensure that people have a good time with my skill, my talent. But the moment that that clock runs out and the performance is over, then me, I have to kick in. My values kick in. And feeling pressure to go hang out, sometimes the client can make you feel that way, like, hey, come over here, hang out, because they want to get more money, you know, and or the bartenders want to get more money, so they're gonna keep on, like, if this person want to buy you a drink, they're gonna keep on letting them buy you drinks even if you don't drink. Like, it got to a point so bad with me one time where it's just like, hey, I had to go to the bartender and be like, look, I don't drink alcohol, so you're gonna have to make something and call it the Phoenix and tell them that there's alcohol in it. It got to the point where, depending on where you are, I remember when I was in the Middle East, and it was actually offensive to turn down a drink from them. This is what the client told me. You can't refuse a drink. And I'm like, yes, but I can. But it was like, no, you can't. You know, and this was a man, and he was apparently a prominent figure, you know, over there. So I definitely I wasn't used to that. I wasn't used to being told I had to do anything, let alone by royalty. So I had to find a way out of that without offending people. And so sometimes it could be hard. It could be hard to navigate that world and try to figure out, I don't want, you know, to lose you as a customer. I don't want you to feel like I don't like you. But at the same time, I need you to understand and respect my boundaries, because this isn't something that I want to do. And it's hard to be able to assert yourself that way sometimes, especially if you don't have the support of your booking agent or your, you know, entertainment company or your manager or the client, you know, or even the manager of the venue that you're performing in. Like, their loyalty may be into whoever brings in the bucks, and sometimes they have a lot of, you know, they have regulars who they can always rely on buying bottles and buying this and, you know, just kind of like showering everybody with tips and stuff. And it's important that you don't allow it to consume you to the point where you like just gone. I've had band leaders come back and say, y'all, I'm sorry, you know, I was spazzing out last week because I just kind of like was hanging out with the high roller clientele, and I was doing this and doing that, and all of these things that, you know, obviously he had to work on some stuff, but it's really easy to get sucked into that world because they feel like they're connected with you. You know, the client feels like, you know, the more attention you show them, the more important they are. And if you don't show them attention, then they feel like, wait a minute, you know, I make this place money. I come in here and I spend all this money, and you don't want to drink with me, or you don't want to get high with me, or you don't want to sit with me and do whatever it is. Like you can't be an individual. But the truth is, no, they do not own you. You are not their property. They do not have the right to just demand your time and energy and services, and you have the right to say no. So assert that right. One of my unwritten rules of entertainment is don't lose yourself for no high roller client. Don't lose yourself for anybody, let alone somebody who met you because you was performing somewhere. The relationship is not deep. You're not friends. They want to use you for their popularity, or they want to vicariously live through you, or use you to be made, whatever it is, it's not real because they don't know you. And if you feel pressured, understand that it's only a reflection of you not knowing how to impose your boundaries when necessary. You know, it's not nobody else's fault. They're going to try to impose their will on you and tell you, well, come in. And they're doing what they feel like they can do. So you can respectfully decline. Hey, I got to go back to my room. Hey, I'm really not drinking. Hey, I'm fasting. Hey, I'm allergic to alcohol. Hey, I got to get on a Zoom call with my dad or my mom, or anything in the world. And the cool thing about my Little Book Musicians, Little Black Book of Performance is that I give you things to say. I talk about how you can get out of those situations. My latest book, The Traveling Singer Survival Guide, I also talk about that. Because you can. Again, and if you have a boss or an agent or a client that's mad at you for doing that, then I highly suggest you examine that relationship. Because unless you sign a contract that said you needed to drink and smoke and hang out all night with the clients or with the paying customers and patrons, then that is not your responsibility as a performer, as an artist who's being paid to sing and perform and to use your talent to help others enjoy themselves. Anything beyond that is your choice. So choose wisely. Once again, thank you guys for tuning into my Musicians on Gigs channel. And I hope this episode was beneficial to some of you. If you have any questions or any kind of comments or topic ideas that you think I should cover, leave me a message below and let me know so that I can make sure I get that content to you, because I want this to be beneficial, you know. And it's been a while since I've been overseas. I actually came home in 2020, so I'm not going to say, yeah, 2020, I had to think for myself, so I'm not going to say it's been a whole long time, but it's been a little bit since I've been in that world of full-time performing, but not much has changed. I'm still very much involved in artistry and music and performing, just not international right now. So again, don't be that person, because you develop something that you can't get out of, or you develop relationships that are non-beneficial to you, and you're to blame for that, not those people who just asked you to be a part of that thing that one time. All right, guys, hopefully this helped, and I'll see you later. Bye.